Tell me when we're live. All right, guys, welcome to our weekly website roasts or website audits. So we are streaming live on YouTube, which is great. So thank you to everyone who's following on YouTube. Feel free to like the video. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, let's subscribe to the channel and comment down below. So basically I run these workshops, well, not workshops, they're live sessions every single week. And what I do is I grab people's stores that have commented a few days earlier and I review them. And what I do is I review them for conversions and see, how can someone improve their Shopify store so they get more sales. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to audit stores live. So you get to see how I think or watch how I think. I'm going to give the stores feedback on what they can do to change it. And the idea here is that making a few small changes on your store and making those fundamentals will make your business better and get you more sales. For those of you who don't know, my name is Brendan and I am the founder of the E-Commerce Academy. We've been helping stores grow after the last 4 years, and we've helped over 500 stores scale from pretty much zero to living a life that they want and freedom and full-time income from their online stores. So what we're doing today is basically what we do inside our academy with all our stores. We really help them really, really grow. So I've got a few stores already lined up that I'm going to audit, but if you want your store audited, make sure you comment down below the name of your store. Now, YouTube doesn't like us to put links in there, so just put in the name of your store. We'll put it in our list, and if I get to it, we're going to audit it. If not, we'll try and get to it next week. For those of you that are already part of my world, part of the bootcamp or part of my elite program, great to see you guys again. For those of you that follow me on YouTube, it's always nice to help you guys out. So going to get live and moving right now. We're going to go with our first store. And the first store is this one here, and it is called, Natural Nom Nom. So thank you for bringing this one in. Now, what I like to do when I audit a store is I do a test that's within the first 2 seconds. Can I tell exactly what the store sells? So right now I can tell what it sells. It looks like it sells pet treats. Okay, so I know straight away. So within 3 seconds, I have been able to identify what this store sells. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make this a mobile view. I'll always audit stores on mobile. Sorry about this. This is my mobile app. I'll always audit stores on mobile because 90% of your visitors are going to be coming from mobile anyway, right? So we want to make sure that it looks great on mobile. So let's do some feedback. So I already know what this store sells. They sell dog treats. The only thing is I don't know what the store is called, right? It took me a while to think that out. So what I would do is this logo here of these cute little pets, I would make a horizontal version of the logo and I'd have the store name here, just so that we know what the store is, because if someone goes to this for the first time, they're not ready to buy, they're going to forget who the brand is and they're just going to forget about you and they're not going to find you anymore. So we want them to remember the store they went to. And this brand is great. It's got Natural Nom Noms. It's a great sounding brand. Let's use it. Now, I would also change the word here from recommended to, our favorite dog treats. Okay, just so that we know instantly what it is that you sell. Because from far away, this could be something else. This could be, I can read that it says Valentine's Chicken Heart Box, but it could be, I don't know, could be for humans. It could be for cats. It could be for whatever, right? So definitely call out what it is that you sell here. Going straight into the product on a homepage, a little controversial, but I'm seeing that a little bit more now, so I don't hate it. In fact, I respect for giving it a go. So that's really cool. Let's have a bit of a scroll down. Our proteins and ranges. So not bad. I'd probably call it out that it's more like, oh, that's fine. I probably wouldn't worry too much. That's just a literally. It's just whether or not people think of the word protein. I think it's okay. See all products on sale. Let's go there. I'm not sure if that button's, there you go, it's working. Okay. So same sort of thing, just the word sale is here. I just changed this to like dog treat sale or pet treat sale, and then a little paragraph underneath on what the sale is all about. The layout of the page is pretty nice. We can see what they are, which is good. Just going to go back to your home page again, and I was just thinking here, rather than just have, when we change that to dog treats, I'd have here like shop all dog treats as a call to action button there that takes you to that collection. Because right now all we can see is we're just going to only go to these treats and then we have to browse by ranges and things like that. We'd love a call to action button just under here, right? All right, let's have a look here. Join our email list. It's not really anything about who you guys are. What we like to see on the homepage is a little bit of a about us or who you are or why you've started the brand, why you're different. So I'd put another little section here about the about us page. Let's see if I can find a little bit more about you. Okay, this is a cool page. So I'll do something like that. Choose one of these images and talk about who we are on that homepage, okay? Just so that we can put a human or, some personality behind this brand. Right now, it just feels very salesy. All right, so we're going to go here. We got shop. Okay. So I've been in the pet space before, so I sort of get this. I probably wouldn't shop by protein. Protein might be the way that you think about it internally. I would shop by the type of treat that someone's after, whether it be, the pig's ears or whether it be, the sticks or something like that. Let me just pop in here. I would do it, yeah. So the ears, the bags, basically the type of treat that they go by as opposed to beef. You still want both, but I think I would probably have type first and I would have it opened up. I'd have it opened up so people can see it, because right now we're going shop and then we're going here. So I would have that instead of shop, I'd actually get rid of shop and just have the items there. So it would be, you'd have by protein, by type, and you'd have by type opened up so that people can get straight to the product straight away, right? So we're going to go straight to ears and we can see straight here. Again, change this word from ears to dog treat ears or pig's ears or whatever it is. Oh, you've got all different types of ears. Okay, so I didn't know rabbits had ears. There you go. Not rabbits, sorry. Chickens had ears. I know rabbits had ears, but I didn't think chickens had ears. Interesting. All right, let's go straight into the product page and see what's happening here. All right, hairy rabbit ears. It's got a price, got no reviews. Typically, if you have no reviews, we hide the stars because no reviews is worse than having, showing 0 reviews is worse than having no reviews. So remove it if you don't have reviews. Loving this pitch. Hairy rabbit ears are a crunchy, chew alternative to pig and cow's ears, especially for smaller dogs. This is great. This pitch is perfect. Don't change a thing. Suitable for dogs from 3 months. Excellent. I can make a great decision here. Details is all good. Size and weight. Yep. This is really great description. Composition. Yep. Yeah, this is a really good one here. My only this is actually pretty good. What I'd check is whatever your add to cart rate is. So if your add to cart rate's a little low, I'd probably put, and when I say low, we want our add to cart rate to be, between 8 and 10%. So if it's anywhere below 8%, then it's lower than what we would like, okay? So if your add to cart rate is below 8%, we can check that into Shopify data. I'd probably just move these details here below your add to cart button. I know it does help with the decision making, so I'd test that and see if that makes a difference. Then the next part is if you do have the low add to cart rate, there's no real information here around shipping. When people make a decision to add to cart, they sort of want to know about, how much is it going to cost and, what happens if I need to return it. So I would have here, ships next day, ships directly from wherever you're shipping from, fast free shipping, just a signal there that when they click add to cart, they know when they're going to get the product. Okay. So always put that in there. Related products is good. Probably what I would do, I know you've got this information here and when you've got a small value product, it does make it a little harder. Actually, now that I think about that, with this low value product, what I'd also do here is we want to increase our average order value on this store, right? So when we have a product that's like 30 pence or 30 cents or something like that, we want people to spend more because it's really hard to acquire customers when we have a really low average order value. So under here, I would do some sort of bulk buy, multi-buy offer. So if you think about, I'll show you my store just so that you can see what we talk about. So we have not a super low average order value, but it's pretty low for e-commerce world, but we encourage this multi-buy type scenario. Okay, so I would recommend doing that, like you buy a 5-pack, buy a 6-pack, buy a 6-pack or a 12-pack, and then that means it's going to increase your average order value right there, rather than selling single items. Now, then what I was moving into is a little bit more detail about the product. So maybe for this product, you can have a close-up of the rabbit's ears and then maybe a little description around that if you wanted to. All right, let's look at one more product and then we're going to do the conversion funnel. We'll go, I'm going to choose buffalo. All right, we'll go buffalo skin. Okay, it's still the same sort of thing. Yeah, obviously the layout is all the same. So same applies to this page. If you don't have any reviews, hide them and then add some sort of shipping promise here, some sort of guarantee as well. So, what happens if your dog doesn't like it? Is there a flavor guarantee? Can they return it? Things like that. I'll do an example on our page. We've got here that, in stock ships in under 24 hours. 30-day trial, love it or your money back. So they know when they're going to get it, and when we're removing risk from them buying it from us. All right, let's go through to the channel, to the conversion. All right, add to cart, not bad. What I would do here is I would have that your cart slides out when they click add to cart. And in this cart, looks like it's the standard Shopify cart. Try and put some upsells and cross sells. We use an app called Upcart, which is really cool, and that helps us with that. But basically, even though it little popped up and had the little red thing there, some people don't see that. So I would absolutely have that the card slides out when it gets added in there. Let's go to checkout. All good, it just uses the Shopify checkout. Okay, so a couple of things there that you could work on. Homepage just needs a little bit of cleaning up to drive them to the section that you want. Tidy up your product page. Product page is looking pretty good. Your goal is, how do we get more revenue out of that customer? So we do, multi-buys, bulk buys, sell packs instead of single items. And I think that's gonna really help you get your average order value up. All right, super good. That was a fun one, team. Thanks for all the comments. I'm seeing lots of comments coming through on YouTube and Facebook. So keep the comments coming. If you want your store audited, you want me to review your store live on the call, write it in the comments. I'll add it to my list and we'll go through it, okay? For those of you that are just joining, we do this all the time. We do this once a week, and we do these sort of store audits. So be sure to subscribe to the channel so you get notified when I go live on these things here. All right, let's go to the next store. So the next store is called Ludico. And the 3-second test, what is it that you sell? I've no idea. Okay, so Ludico is a journey of self-expression begins here. Learn the complete tufting process from start to finish. All right, how to tuft. Okay, so it's got something to do with tufting. I can't click anywhere on this page, so we always want to be able to drive someone somewhere, so we definitely need to do something here, but let me just dive into this a little bit. Okay, it's tuft not to love. Push yarn through fabric and create beautiful textured art. Okay, so it looks like okay, this is cool. Right. So right here, we land here and I don't know, I can see the picture now of what this lady's doing, but we probably want to be a little bit more specific about what tufting is. And you've got it actually here, something like this, don't know where to start. I'd probably be like the home of tufting, the home of the ultimate tufting kit, or the home of some sort of tufting kit. So we know straight away. And then in here we go, what is a tufting kit, right? Because if we think about you right now, you're selling to people who already know what tufting is, which is great. So if someone who already knows what tufting is lands on the page and they see a home of tufting, they're not going to feel alienated. They're going to be like, yeah, I'm in the right place. But if someone doesn't know what tufting is and lands on this page, they're going to be like, I don't know what's going on here, right? So we want to make sure that we have our landing page that appeals to a wider audience, not just your really niche audience. So I changed that homepage to be, the ultimate tufting kit, or the home of the tufting kit. Then it is what it is, which is great. Push yarn through fabric and create beautiful textured art. And that is a great video. So that is looking good. The homepage just the banner needs a little bit of work. All right, introducing our kits. Made with care and unconditionally. I would probably have, instead of made with care and unconditionally loved by our customers, I would have something like everything that is included to create your best piece of art. So the kit, and we talk about what's in the kit, not that it's made with care. Because again, this is assuming that people know what a kit is. So it's everything that you need to get started tufting, okay? All right, let's learn more. Tufting starter kits. Okay, this is good. You know what? Let's go mobile. Let's do it the right way. Okay, tufting starter kits. A little bit hard to read that on mobile, so let's see if we can play around with the background image. All right, the Pro kit. Okay. You know what I'd probably have here? Looks like we've got the Pro kit here, and I can shop now. I would probably... What do we got here? What's after that? The basic plus, basic kit. Yeah, you know what? It's a little hard to tell what that is. So I would have a picture of the kit itself. Let's go in there and see, because it's I'm not feeling that's taking me to a product, right? I need to see a picture of the product. Yeah, so that is the kit. Let's see what other pictures you've got here. These are really good photos, by the way, so well done on that. Yeah, I would have it more a closer, like the picture of that and the Pro kit, and so it looks like a product image. So rather than have it here with this text overlay, put Pro Kit under there and then maybe a little description there. And then ideally we want this stacked so it's not, those aren't hidden on this page. We have Pro Kit and then we talk about who the Pro Kit is perfect for. And then we have the basic kit and the next kit. So it would be Kit 1, Kit 2, and Kit 3. Right, I'm just going to fix my internet because it's being a bit funny. Okay, so hope that makes sense to you there. I think it's being a bit funny on this page. So the goal here, just while my computer starts to fix itself up, is to make it clear what people are buying. Right now, you're targeting people that know what tufting is, and so it's easy for them to find it. But if we're trying to find beginner tufters and introduce people to this tufting world, then we need to be a little bit clear about who our audience is, okay? Now, your page just crashed on me, so I'm going to just try that again. All right. And sometimes this happens if you have lots of videos on a page. It can kill the browser. So I think that's what tends to be happening here. Let me try it in another page, and then we will get moving. So probably good note for people who are watching here, when we have lots of videos and we put lots of images on pages, it causes the page to be heavy. And that means it takes a lot of loading, and it can actually cause, websites to crash. So that's happening for me right now. So give me a sec while I try and fix it. Now, it seems like that one has crashed out. So I'm going to move on to the next slide just in cautious of time. Just double check the amount of videos that you have on your site that could be causing this to crash away. So just quick feedback, make sure that you're driving people to the right product, the right page, and then making it easier for them to buy. I'm going to move on to the next one, and this one is called My Diffability Australia. Okay, so this is a 3-second test. Let's have a look. Learning, development, and independence, the neuroaffirming way. Okay, so I can tell this is something to do with neurodivergent type toys or learning equipment, everything like that. So I'm pretty clear what this store does. Let's now inspect on mobile. We'll do it this way, and let's have a look. So, yep, it looks great on mobile. Trust, 14 years of trust in the therapy industry, great. Now, when we're obviously working in a category such as this, trust plays a big part and expertise plays a big part, because you want to make sure you're buying an item that is, tested and tried, and not just a drop shipping item that's trying to game sort of the system. So this is great. This is a smart move to do up here. Yeah, this looks really nice. Okay, then we move straight into bestsellers. So moving the products that people are going to buy first. Now, in this category, if you're a buyer, sometimes you don't know what toys and things that your learning aids that you need. So you're guiding them to the things that most people are buying. And people, we're a bit like sheep, right? We tend to buy what other people buy. So when we can show that something is a bestseller, then, people are more attracted to that. It's like when you walk past a restaurant, and, here in Melbourne, restaurants are very popular, and you always have to queue out the front for the good restaurant. And you might not have even heard of the restaurant, but if there's a big long queue out the front, you're going to line up because it's going to be a great restaurant, right? So the same applies to online. We want to put the things that people want to buy at front and center to get their attention. So bestsellers are a great way to do that. So this is good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what you want me to do. I'm going to click your best-selling item, and I'm going to take a look at this and see whether or not this is a great page. I might just change this to my other little app because it's a bit better. Cool. All right, let's have a look here. 85-gram therapy putty, antimicrobial rep putty. All right, so this is a very technical title, okay? I would change this title to be a little bit more simple, right? So this, again, it's probably a little bit like the previous site with the Tuft. We're talking to people who know this category really well. I call it the expert's curse. When we're an expert in our category and we've got so much experience, we tend to speak in a language that only our category knows, right? So anyone that's in this space will know what you're talking about, like a microbial therapy putty, okay? Antimicrobial rep putty. So everyone else that reads that doesn't know this category is not going to know what it is. So we want to make that it speaks to the biggest audience, not your niche audience, okay? So I would change the name of this to be best-selling therapy putty, best-selling therapy putty, okay? And then we can go into that it's antimicrobial, and I'm not sure what the rep part means. So make that a simple title, make it easy that when someone lands in here, they know exactly what it is, okay? Got the colors. Okay, we've got a video, that's good. Shows how it's being used, yeah. Ideally, we'd want this video to be square, just so it fits really nicely within the rest of the images. Okay, so it doesn't sort of go, it's hard to see there. Always looks good on desktop, but doesn't look so great on mobile. Okay, we've got all the colors here. Okay, that's not too bad. I'd probably have, you've got a video, an image here. Yeah, image of it being used is great. Yeah, you got more videos. Okay, the media is good. Just try and keep it a little bit more consistent. I don't think it's too bad though. I wouldn't worry too much about that. Okay, price, you got reviews, it's good. We've got Afterpay, which is great. Look, just a small change I would have here is maybe make these color palettes so people can see the swatches. Firm green, extra firm blue. All right, so what's the difference between soft and firm? Let's have a look. Okay, this is really good detail, stretch it, pull it. So this has a lot of text, and typically we would say just have a small item of text here, but for this category, I think it needs a little bit more explaining. So I'm pretty comfortable with you having all this text here. This is a fabulous research for people who like to fidget with their hands while trying to help them concentrate on a task. Yeah, so this is a really good explanation and it reads really well and it's laid out really well, and it's probably expected in this category. All right, so 4 strengths, soft, medium, firm. All right. Yeah, I don't think that's too bad. Product details. Yep, these are hidden. Product care. Yep, this is good. Refunds and returns. You know, the only thing is, where's the add to cart buttons there? Okay. All right. I would probably put the little pitch item here, and I'd use this line of text here. This fabulous resource for people who like to fidget with their hands while trying to help them concentrate on a task. I just have that little paragraph there just to sink it in. Add to cart was hidden a little bit. I had to go all the way, if I read all the way down. Look, it's not too bad. Rather than other people also purchased, I'd put reviews above there, and then we go other people also purchased. So the reason we do that is we want people to buy the product that they're on. When we do other people also purchased, it takes them to another product and they don't buy that one. So the layout that we like is product information, the pitch, the description, how to buy, why to buy, and then reviews, which is the social proof, and then we move into moving on to other products. Because the theory is if they go from the top to the bottom of the page and they haven't purchased, then you haven't been able to convince them to buy, so then we can send them to another product. We don't want to send them to another product too early in the scroll. So for those of you that are watching and thinking about your store, if you've got related products or recommended products that is close to the add to cart button, move that to the bottom of the page, because effectively what you're doing is saying, oh, you don't like this product, let's move on to the other one, when you really want to try and convince them on that product page to buy that specific one. Okay. Overall, the product page isn't bad though. Loving seeing the reviews. That's excellent. All right, let's add to cart and see what happens. Okay, cool. So add to cart. It looks like you're using Upcart as an app, which is great. You're doing an upsell. So yeah, this is others helpful too. That's pretty good. I'd probably have more things like what complements this product. Okay, so you can with Upcart you can match products to other products, so you could easily complement these two together. So do something like more of a complementary product, and you got to also remember, like if someone's only spending $17.95, an upsell of another $45 is really high. I like to think of this like when you go to McDonald's and you go to buy a burger, and you go in there and you buy a burger, and I don't know what the burger's worth these days, maybe $10.95. I'm not sure. In Australia, that's probably what they're worth. But then they'll say, well, would you like fries with that for an extra few dollars? It's much easier to move someone a couple of dollars up than it is to triple the value they're already expecting to spend. So often when we do upsells or add-ons or something like that, then we want to just make it a small add-on that makes it better. Okay, so what complements this putty? So maybe it's another putty in a different color. Maybe it's an alternative and another fidget that they can use while they're playing with the putty. Maybe it's something that goes in the putty. So what is it that makes that product better? That's not a huge stretch. So right now this upsell is probably too big for the product that they're buying. So you want to match your upsells to your products that you're buying. Okay. The other thing that I did notice is on your add to cart button, similar to what we said on the previous store, is I don't know how much shipping is going to be, and I don't know what guarantee there is on this product. So we definitely want to have that to the add to cart button. And it's also great to have that underneath this add to cart button as well. Okay, I'll show you what we're doing on our store to give you an example. When we click add to cart, we've got a 30-day risk-free trial at the bottom here, and then we even show our review stars. So it complements, like it helps them push them through the journey to make sure they're making the right decision, okay? All right, otherwise this store looks pretty good. A few little tweaks, a few little turnarounds, but I think those changes are gonna make a big difference on your store. Seeing a few more comments come through. Thank you to everyone that's commenting on this. It's great. Lots of stores coming in. Really appreciate it. While I'm getting the next store up, we'll probably get time to do one more. Let me know in the comments, like, what are you learning here? What's your aha moment that, that's happening while I'm auditing this store? Right? What is it that's going, oh yeah, I need to change it on my store. Oh, I'm missing that on my store. What are you loving? What are you learning in this live session? All right. For those of you that aren't subscribed to the channel, be sure to subscribe. I do this every single week. I review stores and people that have put in their URL. We rack them up, we put them in the queue, and we go through it. So if you want your store audited, make sure you're subscribed and make sure you write a comment in the comments box. All right, let's go to the final one. And okay, cool. Similar category to the previous one. So do I know in the first 3 seconds what this sells? Absolutely. Sensory toys and fidgets. This is a great example of a great homepage banner. So well done to people who have done that. I know exactly what I'm in for here. Let me change this to mobile view and see how it looks. Okay, same sort of thing. I know what you sell and I know what you want me to do next. Okay, you want me to go straight to shop now. Or I can scroll down and I can see some other things. Back to school ready, sensory toys. It's really, really easy to navigate this one here. So yeah, I know exactly what I need to do. If I click the menu item, that matches. That's a great menu. Well done. Yeah, really, really good menu. Really well laid out. So this is going good. So let's go to shop now and see what else we can find. Okay, it's sorted by best selling. Same thing as before. We usually buy what other people buy. And we're probably looking to, come up with different options. So let's have a look at this. Choose options. Okay, it's a little quick one. Changeable magnetic magic cube. Okay, a lot of out of stocks here, which is probably good. It's a good problem to have. But we've got a lot of, I don't know what Paisley is. Is this one? Okay, let's have a look. Add to cart, buy it now. Also available from Maryland. So these quick ones are good, but it doesn't necessarily show us what the product does. So quick add to carts are great, but what's happening here is the way that this button's laid out is it just goes straight to buy it now, which I think is okay when people know what they want to buy, but not always that great if they don't know what they want to buy. Okay, so if I need more information about this ball, if I click add to cart here, I don't get any more information about that. It just takes me straight to it. These types of quick add to carts are great if you're like in a grocery business and people know what they want and they don't need any more information. But if you want people to learn a little bit about the product, you do want to take them to the product page. So it's not saying that it's bad. It's probably just de-emphasizing the add to cart button there without people actually, reading about the product. So a pea pod fidget. So again, I'm just clicking add to cart, but I don't really know much about that fidget. I don't really know much about shipping. I don't know anything about that. So I'd recommend just maybe having you often see like a little small plus button. That could be a way if you want to have this. But in your store, we do want them to browse and buy a few things, right? So they're going through here and you've done so much work on this product page, great images. It's awesome. So I would make sure we drive them to here. All right, we've got an inventory, that's just great. Got add to cart, which is great. Buying a bundle, yep. Peapod fidget, wacky tacky fidget, mini fidget. So rather than calling it buying a bundle, I would call it like the fidget kit, right? So the kit that stops fidgeting or helps with fidget fingers, things like that, and that way people know that they're buying it for an outcome. Where it's just a bundle, we're like, well, I don't want these ones. Are these any good to me? But if we say it's like the fidget kit, the Peapod fidget or our best-selling fidget kit, that would be even better. Like if these are some of your best-selling fidgets, or you could make sure that the fidgets like match together. It could be like the pea fidget kit or the fruit fidget kit or something like that. So rather than just a bundle, we're effectively curating a kit. If I go back to the McDonald's example I gave you, you can buy a meal, right? And the meal is curated for you. It has a burger, fries, and a drink. It's curated. You need those three things. Now, in a fidget kit, what are the three biggest things that you need to help with fidgeting? So we do that in the kit, okay? So if I was thinking about the product that the other store sold, it could be you've got the clay, You've got this P, and you might have a spinner. They might be the 3 types of different fidget styles that you have in there, but that's the fidget kit. Okay, just means that people are buying something that they know is going to work for them. They know the outcome of that product. All right, that looks good. Add to cart is good. This inventory one takes up a lot of space. I'd recommend moving that just to the left here, just so that it doesn't take up 2 lines. Okay, we don't need it to do that much space. Fast dispatch, flat rate shipping, description. Yeah, not too bad. This also, I don't dislike that. That's fine. I'd probably say fast dispatch from New South Wales, flat rate shipping available, Australian owned and operated. I think that's fine. Not too bad. Description's good experience. Instant relaxation for the pea pod finger. Perfect for relieving stress, easing anxiety. Yeah, this is a nice description. I think that's great. Reviews. Do you have any reviews? No reviews. Okay, well, they're hidden, so that's not too bad. Other products you might like. Yeah, look, this is not a bad page. I would just play around with effectively how people get to this product. That's probably the hardest part is your buttons here are driving me to want to click add to cart, not click the button, not click the image itself. That would be my biggest one here that I would change for you. Let's have a look at this one here. All right, images are great. So you've definitely don't have a problem with images. Fidget spinner, swatches, same thing on this one. I would move the reviews above the fidget spinner title. Buy in a bundle, same thing as before. Name the bundle something, okay? This is all good. Description is fine. So if you've got reviews, we want to expand that out. So we should have that expanded out when you've got reviews because we want people to be able to see the reviews straight away. People will always more likely to buy if they see reviews. One other tiny little aesthetic trick that we like to do with reviews is we like to make the stars orange or gold or yellow, right? People associate, quality or high reviews with that gold and yellow color. When we put it the same color as our brand, it doesn't have as much impact. And studies have been shown that if you have that gold and green color, your conversion rate does increase. Okay, so I would just change it to that sort of gold color that people are familiar with. All right, but otherwise that looks good. Let's do an add to cart and see what happens again now. Okay, so fidget spinner. I've added a few things to cart. We've got this spend $55.25 to get a free gift. Depending on your average order value, these motivators are really good. So for those of you that are thinking about increasing average order value and you want to use these motivators, think about what your average order value is. So let's just say the average order value on this store is, how much am I spending here? $24. So I have to spend, by the looks of it, $80 to get a free gift, okay? Now, I don't know what the average order value of this store is, but let's just say the average order value is $40 and we're asking them to spend $80 to get a free gift. It's going to be really hard to stretch them up that way. What we like to do is slowly stretch over time. So if I've got a $40 average order value, then we want to set the stretch to be $50. Okay, so we're adding another $10. Once we get our average order value up to that $50, then we want to stretch to $60 and $70. And the goal is to stretch over time, but to get someone to go from $40 to $80, and based on the types of products that you sell, I'm going to have to add a bucket load of products in here to get it if I'm just buying fidgets. Let's see if I can buy something more expensive and get me there. So let's go. I'll do all products and I'll shop by bestsellers to sell is best selling. Yeah, if I look at all your products, they're like $13, $6.50, $4. To get to actually $80 is going to be hard, okay? I'm going to have to buy lots of products to get to $80. So just think about that. If you set a threshold that you want someone to get to, how hard is it for them to get there? Do they need to buy lots of stuff? And is that going to be likely for someone to actually spend that much money with you? You got to be realistic. If they're not going to spend that much money, then we need to bring the average threshold down because it's much better to get them from 40 to 50 than to get them to 40 and they don't go anywhere because it's too hard to go higher. Does that make sense? So have a think about that. I'm not sure what your average order value is, but that's something we want to do. All right, let's go back to the cart. We've got these in here. So you're saying spend to get a free gift, but we don't have any upsells here. What I would do is I would try and do some recommended upsells in here, like what's the next best product for them. All right, tax included. Included in the notes for your order here, color preference. We'll send you preference if in stock. If you're placing an iOS order, please. Okay, that's fine for this product. Let's click checkout. Cool, okay. So that is all good. All right, so a few little things there. That store, overall, images look great. It's just more the customer journey that people go on. So homepage banner, tick, looks great. People should take inspiration from the way you've done that. The collection page looks pretty good, but the call to action is taking them to do a quick add to cart, and they might miss that they can actually click through to the product page. Then when we get on the product page, overall looks pretty good, but we've got to think about, expanding those reviews, changing the star colors, and moving just those things around. But otherwise, that was pretty good site. So hopefully those few tweaks help out. Now, it looks like we are at time, so we got through a few stores here. If I didn't get to your store, make sure you put a comment down below on your store to be audited. And what we'll do is we will queue them up for next week, and we'll try and get to your store next week. Now, if this is the first time you're watching one of my videos, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We put videos out every single week on helping you grow your Shopify store. If you are a subscriber, thank you very much. I hope you've been enjoying the videos. Now, if you wanted a little bit of extra help and you wanted people to help you grow your store, aka my coaches, me and myself, we'd love you to join the e-commerce academy. We have two programs. One is our boot camp. That's where we help people get to $10,000 a month and turn their side hustle into a full-time business. And then we have our private mentoring program, which is called our elite team. And that's where we take people to $1 million a year in revenue. So if you want more information about the e-commerce academy, write a comment down below and we'll shoot you through the details. Otherwise, make sure you subscribe and we'll do another live audit same time next week. Over and out.